We love our pets for a whole bunch of reasons. They give us cuddles. They're adorable. They keep us active. But perhaps most importantly, they're the world's best comedians. To help put a smile on your face today, we've uncovered the funniest pet stories out there, from a coughing cat to a cat who accidentally got stuck in a pile of tape. And for more amazingly adorable pet tales, subscribe and like our channel. Cats love to wriggle their bodies into all sorts of unfathomable places. And for one of our channel subscriber and contributor, that meant an air duct. We were in the middle of remodeling our house and went out of town for the weekend. We got back and couldn't find the cat. I realized I had left a ladder leaned against a wall right below an air duct and saw claw marks around the open duct, he wrote. I instantly assumed I would be fishing a dead cat out of the wall and succumbed to my fail by slumping down against it, trying to figure out how to explain to my wife and 3-year-old that I stupidly led our beloved cat to his doom. About that time, he pokes his head out of the duct and meows at me, wanting me to help him out. Kittens are playful, it's just in their nature. And apparently, so is playing pranks on their siblings. My biggest female cat, 9 to 10 pounds, likes to sit on the side of the full bathtub inside the shower curtain, wrote Bismic, our channel follower and contributor. My littlest tiny female cat, 4 pounds, runs from across the house, slides around the corner into the bathroom, shoves the big female into the tub through the shower curtain and takes off like a shot back to the other side of the house. She never knew what hit her. Ever bought your pet an expensive toy and they still choose to play with a paper bag instead? That's what happened with Cindy's cat, but with tape. My cat once discovered a roll of fly tape in a kitchen cabinet. Not sure how he managed it, but we walked in the door to find he had effectively hogtied himself in the middle of the floor. A big fat cat with long gray fur sticking out in giant tufts between the strips of tacky, gooey tape he'd managed to wind all over himself, crimping his tail in 2 places, Cindy, among our top female follower and contributor wrote. We felt horrible for laughing, but it was such a ridiculous scene that we were still cracking up even while cutting the tape away and checking to make sure his tail wasn't broken. He was a little traumatized and temporarily looked like a case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde with many random bald spots, but otherwise perfectly fine. Usually, when a cat injures itself doing something once, it will self-correct and never do that thing again. But that wasn't the case for our subscriber and follower Sammy's had gotten 7 or 8 inches of snow. My cat decided to be a brave adventurer and dash out of the door, explained another top female contributor Terry Ann. She knows she absolutely hates snow, but always does this: she runs out, jumps into the snow, and disappears. I'm sitting there letting her learn her lesson. I hear a muffled meow scream as she very, very slowly lifts her head up above the snow. Her mouth stays wide open, and she continues to stare at me doing this meow until I came and picked her up. Terry Ann, the kitty's owner, wrote that she did the same exact thing again an hour later. Too good. While some cats like to play with stuffed mice, catnip, and jingle balls, Davy's cat likes Easter eggs. My cat likes to play with plastic Easter eggs. She picks a half up in her mouth, and trots around with it, yowling all the while, with the egg functioning as an amplifier. One year we got the kids these big eggs, and eventually, she found one and tried to play with it the same way. Sadly for this cat, it didn't work out. When she picked it up, it flipped up over face and covered her eyes. She panicked and started running around, clanging into the baseboard heaters and whatever else. It was hysterical. She finally dropped it and stood there dazed. And then she picked up and dyed a very vibrant green, and I had to call the vet to see how important it was for me to try to wash him off. Litter boxes aren't as intuitive as they may seem. My roommate has a cat that can't poop in the litter box. The cat just sits next to the box, and poops all over the floor, Ruth Patience wrote. To solve the problem, my roommate got this litter box with a cat flap. Cat doesn't realize he is supposed to go inside, but instead hops onto the box and poops. Thing is, the poop scoop was on the litter box and the cat completely poops all over the handle. Still not sure if this was a stupid or brilliant pet move. Perhaps more than any other animal, cats are incredibly confident in their athletic abilities, sometimes, to a fault. Exhibit A, Ellie. I have a 20-pound black Persian cat named Sherman, wrote Reddit user xTrasherman. He comes into the room and I can tell he wants to jump up onto the windowsill to look outside. I'm sitting on the couch which is against the wall and perpendicular to the window. Now he could have easily jumped up to the sill from the floor, but in his lazy little mind, he decided to jump up on the couch and then the window. The only problem is that I'm sitting on the couch and in his line, Yuli had locked me out. Somehow she had pulled the drawer closest to the door open so I was unable to open the door. I was frantic and had to get in there to get ready for work. I went into the kitchen and got a knife and had to shimmy the drawer closed with a knife. Now, looking back, it was so funny that it happened. Ruth, our subscriber and contributor wrote. My husband, Phil, has dentures. One evening as he was preparing to shower, he took out his teeth and placed them on the bathroom sink. He went for a clean towel, and when he came back, his teeth were missing. We searched for an hour, and they were nowhere to be found. He was forced to go to work for days without them. Our son Josh was in the high school marching band, and on that following Saturday we went to a tournament of bands, and Phil took a short nap in the car. One of the students went to get him for the show, and when he got there, Phil was asleep with his mouth gaping wide open, clearly visible that his teeth were missing. Mike came back and told the kids, and then Josh relayed the story about the teeth and that we believed our cat, Herbert Spencer, had stolen them, but we were unable to find them. When Phil arrived back to the field, all the band members began teasing him saying, "What's the matter, Mr. Phil, the cat got your teeth." Well, several days later, our son was watching TV and covered himself with an Afghan. Lo and behold, the dentures were wrapped in the Afghan. My son called my husband and told him he had just been bitten. 2 weeks later, Phil's watch was missing and we found it in Herbie's secret hiding spot, the Afghan. The Afghan is long gone, and now Herbie has hiding spots we know nothing about, but we are certain when things are missing, Herbie has absconded with them. Herbert Spencer is such a funny cat that family members say we should write a book about him. Can anything brighten a day better than a funny cat?